Hi, fifth graders. Today we're going to look at a multiplication strategy that I call the traditional method. And the traditional method is probably the method that your families are most familiar with. It's how I learned how to multiply before the area model became a thing. So if you're not a fan of the area model, you might like this method. You may have also heard it referred to as the turtle head method, and I'll remind you why when we get to our third example. But just a quick refresher, multiplication we know has four different functions. We can use multiplication to make equal groups, to find a part of a group, to find a part of a part, or to do some resizing or scaling. Over the course of the year, we'll talk about examples with all four of these functions, but right now we're just focusing on multiplication as a way to make equal groups. And today, really, we're just looking at the do the math part of it. So let's take a look at an example, 54 times 8. When we're using the traditional method, the first thing you'll do is you'll line up your factors vertically so that the factor with more digits goes on the top. Right now, my first factor, 54, has 2 digits, and my second factor, 8, only has 1. So because of that, I'm going to line this up with the 54 on top and the 8 on the bottom. Then I need to multiply the ones place by the ones place. 8 times 4 is 32, so I'll write down the 2 and carry the 3 because I know that I can only put one digit in a spot. You can't try to squeeze two digits in one place value position. So that's why we need to write down the 2 and bring up that 3 or carry that 3 because really that's representing 3 tenths. Next, I need to multiply the ones place by the tens place. 8 times 5 is 40, but I can't just write down 40 here because I also need to add those carried 3 digits. So really that means I have 43. Then, if I'm all done with all of my digits, I need to check my work. My final answer to this first question is 432. Let's take a look at another example with some slightly larger factors. This time I want to look at 261 times 7. So again, I'm going to start by lining up my factors vertically. This time I have a single digit and 3 digits, so I'll put the 261 on the top. I again need to look at the ones place times the ones place. This time 7 times 1 is 7. Next, I multiply the ones place by the tens place. 7 times 6 is 42, but remember I can only write down one digit per place. So I write down the 2 and I carry the 4. Next, I multiply the ones place by the hundreds place. 7 times 2 is 14, but I can't forget about those 4, so I need to add the carried digits, and 14 plus 4 is 18. Since I don't have any more digits that I need to multiply, I'm finished with my product, and I need to check my work. Let's take a look at one more example where we have 2-digit by 2-digit factors. This is where you might have heard this method called the turtle method. So I'm still going to do the same first step. I still need to line up my factors vertically. Now this time I have 2 digits in both of my factors. So it doesn't matter if I put the 24 or the 18 on top. Usually for me, I just pick the one on the left goes on the top, the one on the right goes on the bottom. I'm still going to start in the ones place. So I'm going to multiply the ones place by the ones place. In this case, 8 times 4 is 32. Again, I can only put one digit per place, so I write down the 2 and carry the 3. Then I need to multiply the ones place by the tens place. 8 times 2 is 16, but I can't forget about those carried 3 digits, so I need to add those to get 19. Now here's where this becomes the turtle method. You might have heard people say to lay a turtle egg. What that means is we're adding a placeholder 0. Because when we start multiplying by this digit 1, we're not really multiplying by 1. This is representing 10 because the 1 is in the tens place. So we need a placeholder 0 to move all of our digits over so that we can show we're really representing 10 and multiplying by 10 instead of just 1. Now I'll do the same process using that 1. First, I multiply the tens place by the ones place. 1 times 4 is 4. Then I multiply the tens place by the tens place. 1 times 2 is 2. Now I've used every digit in both of my factors, so I need to add those two rows together to get my final answer, of 432. Finally, when that's all done, of course, check your work. So this is a quick refresher of the traditional method. We'll do lots of guided practice on both this and the area model together. If you prefer the area model, great. If you prefer the traditional method, great. Find whatever strategy works best for you and use that one. Hopefully this gave you a good refresher. Thanks for watching.